Have you ever wondered what it feels like to unlock the deepest levels of influence, to guide someone effortlessly from limitation to transformation? Because as you think about that now, you might already start to remember a time when you felt truly persuasive, truly in sync with someone's mind, as if your words carried a deeper weight, a subtle power that reshaped reality itself. And as you connect with that feeling, you might notice something fascinating. The way your mind begins to recall moments, experiences, memories of time when words had an impact on you. Because isn't it interesting how a simple phrase, a question, a suggestion, it can pull someone into an experience? And that's the key, isn't it? Have you ever so completely absorbed in a thought, a moment, that it became real again? Right here, right now. Because that's what's happening when you ask this kind of question. You guide the mind, and the mind follows. And as the mind follows, it experiences. And as it experiences, it believes. Because the moment someone remembers feeling a certain way, they're feeling it. And when they feel it, you can use that feeling, pace it, lead it, guide it. So is there ever a time when you believe something so strongly, only to later realize you'd outgrown that belief? Notice what that feels like, the recognition, the shift. And as you recognize that, your mind can begin to understand how easily beliefs can change. Because they do, don't they? And what happens when you begin to notice the flaws in an old belief? Can you remember a time when you thought something was true, and then someone asked you just the right question, and suddenly you weren't so sure anymore? Maybe it was a detail you hadn't considered. Maybe it was a contradiction you hadn't noticed. Or maybe, just maybe, it was never true in the first place. And so to guide someone through this, you might simply ask, what specifically makes you believe that? Because isn't it interesting how so many beliefs, when examined closely, fall apart on their own? As they search for an answer, you can help them reframe. Because isn't it possible that what they thought was true isn't? What if the opposite was just as true, or more true, or true in a way they'd never realized before? And when they see that, when they begin to shift, when that crack in the belief appears, you install something new, something better. And it happens naturally, doesn't it? Because the mind is already seeking for a new way to make sense of things. That's where you guide them. Have you ever realized that you're already changing the way you think? Even now, your unconscious mind is absorbing this pattern, integrating it, making it second nature. Because the more you hear these words, the more this process becomes a part of you. And you can already begin to imagine using this effortlessly, naturally, powerfully. You ask the question, elicit the state, guide the state, reframe the belief, install the new reality, lock it in with a pattern interrupt, and then you begin again. And what happens when you master this? When it flows from you so easily that you don't even have to think about it anymore? Can you imagine how powerful that feels? To know every conversation holds within it the possibility of transformation. And that's right, because the more you use this, the more it becomes yours, the more natural it feels. And maybe you've already begun to notice how effortlessly your mind is absorbing this, how quickly it's becoming a part of you, how soon it will feel like something you've always known. As you think about that, you might find yourself wondering, what's the first belief that you'll change? Because isn't it interesting how easy it is now, isn't it?